right.
You can go ahead.
And bonjour, this is Bruno LARVOL, and you're listening to the LARVOL CLIN podcast, our weekly opportunity to build in public with you and present the progress of our flagship product, LARVOL CLIN, which is the Wikipedia of cancer data, in particular outcome data. We have with us Kimon, who is joining us from Greece. Kimon is in charge of both customer success and some business development as well. And he's going to share with us today a walkthrough, CLIN, and also share what he learned over the since last time he was on the show, about 6 months ago, from our customers about the parts of CLIN that are resonating the most, maybe the easiest to sell, or the highest value for our customers. That's the topic today. Kimon, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Bruno. Nice to be here. Thank you.
Kimon is going to share his screen in a second. Before that, this is not a pajamas. This is a kurta that I got in India last summer, a gift from one of my great friends in India, and it's extremely comfortable. A kurta, Kurta. I'm probably not pronouncing it exactly right. Right. I didn't want people to think that I'm coming in pajamas but it's as comfortable as pajamas, but it's wonderful clothing from India.
This is Shahir jumping from the back end, and that looks like a very nice kurta, Bruno. Thank you so much for wearing that.
Thank you for chiming in. So, by the way, that's the opportunity for me to say that Shahir Sheikh, our executive producer, he's always in the background. Sometimes he says hi, and please jump in anytime you want, Shahir. He's the one organizing all of these and has been extremely important to all of these podcasts. So, Kimon, the screen is yours, and the air is yours. Please give us a walkthrough and give us a little bit of a show for our audience, starting maybe with a definition of CLIN. Let's say the audience have never heard about it. They've seen me with my purple hat at conferences and so on. But they know a little bit about LARVOL. They don't know what LARVOL CLIN is. So perhaps start with a definition.
Very good question. I think I like a definition I heard you give once to somebody we just met. I liked part of that where you mentioned that a good way to give it to somebody quickly would be Wikipedia for oncology. So a location where you would find everything you wanted to know about all the oncology trials that are happening or have happened, all the oncology conferences, along with quite a lot of automation and a lot of wizardry going on the back end. So I think I like that definition.
I like it too. So I agree with you and with me, with what I said before. I will just add that increasingly, that Wikipedia of cancer data, and really clinical cancer data, not really omics as much, and not really commercial data, although there's a lot of it. The center is a clinical trial, but the enabling element is AI. And it's enabled at two levels. Number one, we use AI to curate the data, to extract sentiment from key opinion leader tweets, for example, to classify, summarize, organize the data. That's upstream. And then downstream, we use AI, and some of these features are still in the work, to predict certain things about this clinical trial. And the most important thing that we're going to predict is obviously the outcome of the clinical trial. Now, most of that is still in the pipeline to be coming, hopefully soon, but you can see how important it will be to both create digital twins of patients, of trial arms, and ultimately simulating clinical trials to predict outcome. Of some of the term the audience might have heard is synthetic control arm, but there's a number of things that can be done with AI in the next step for CLIN.
True. So I think from my end, because I was trying to think of how to answer your question of what do most of our customers appreciate most about this platform? Where do people spend most of their time? What impresses them the most? And it's quite a complex answer because CLIN is not a platform that is designed for a single function within a pharmaceutical company. It's designed with quite a few people in mind. So different functions of each company will have, they will gravitate on different areas of the platform. I think I'll start off from the beginning where I just said the Wikipedia page where you will find all the trials. And I think the one thing I like about it, and I think what most people enjoy about using this platform, is being able, with a couple of clicks, to get all the data of what has happened in a single area through the history of that trial. So I'll give you an example here, and I'll just open Natalie. It would be very complex for somebody to go back in time and create a graph that shows what has happened from day one, from the first time something was presented. From what you can see here, it's at ASCO 2019, and then go and have all the updates step by step, the historicity of a single trial. So all of that is in a single location without clicking back and forth and trying to figure out what has happened. And that builds quite a lot of value to be able to see that in one location. I think that's the first part that impresses most people because it streamlines things. Then I don't know if you have any questions or something to add here, Bruno, but I can go to the next thing if you. Okay. So the next bit, I think most people are drawn to is, and I'll skip quite a few of those steps. As you can see, there is quite a lot of automation happening here, and you can see the Twitter reactions to this trial and landscapes that we can create and KMN plots, but I'm gonna go straight to a conference. And that's where the part of the AI functions that you just mentioned come in. I'm going to open up something that happened this year. Let's go for ASCO. Yeah, ASCO GE. And now I would say this function draws the attention of quite a lot of people in CI, people that are in decision making and trying to figure out what their competition is doing. But on top of that, from a marketing perspective of how does the market perceive the publications that they've made in a conference? So over here, you will see a graph where you can clearly see that the trial that was talked about the most was Breakwater, and you can see the ones below it, along with quite a few that are not shown here at the moment, as well as a very quick sentiment analysis from how key oncologists perceived the results of this trial. An AI on the back end filters those comments, links them to a specific trial, and then decides on whether the comment was positive, negative, neutral, or even practice changing or practice informing. To add to that, we have more automation and analytics over here, where you can see where those tweets are coming from. You can clearly see which companies are being discussed the most, and quite a few more. Now, I'll go back a few steps because I think that's where the most interest lies. If I click on here, I can quickly see all those comments, and they will be sorted down with positive, negative, and neutral. I can click again and I can go to the source, and I can actually see the discussion. I can see what other people are saying about the comments that have been just made on this trial. So a lot of people gravitate on that, and I think it helps not only see what has happened during a conference, but it helps quite a bit with the decision making moving forward, because it gives you an idea of how the market is responding. Any questions so far, or any thoughts you would like to add here?
I'm always fascinated by these curves because if you show the graph again, because you can clearly see how that trial is perceived. You can see the first one. Obviously, I don't know what that is, but I know. But even if I didn't know, I will know. It's an extremely successful trials. Well, of course, there was a few negative comments in red, but it's very unusual to have such a big percentage of practice changing commentary. And obviously, it's got the highest buzz in terms of number of comments. So it's clearly a trending trial, a breakthrough trial, a practice changing trial. The second one, less so. Only a couple of people mentioning practice change. A lot of negatives, right? A lot of red and a lot of neutral. Often the neutral are actually polite negatives, right? That's what they are. So you can see so clearly the profile of the data, and that's what I love about that graph in particular.
Yes, and the great thing about it is that for example, for marketing teams, we have a panel at the moment of over 6,000 key opinion leaders in oncology that we follow using X, and they can clearly see in a single location all the reactions that their key opinion leaders, the people they work closely with, are having, not only to their trial but to their competition. How are they reacting to what other people are doing? So in a single, again, location, they have all of that. I'll go to my next favorite thing. I think, having spent quite a lot of time with scientists, I think a lot of people love this part and the automation it brings in. Uh, for full disclosure, I'm not a scientist myself, so please pretend that those trials I'm going to compare now are comparable, because they might not be. I think they are, because I've opened it up recently, but let's see the results of two different trials. And I know you're not meant to do that. You're not meant to simply click on trials and try and test them around, but a lot of people do that, and I'm going to do that as well. So I think let's go for Monarch. Okay. So over here, I've pulled up two trials, and I can select parts of so the system automatically digitizes the Kaplan-Meier plots, and you can quickly see them by clicking on them. Let me open up one. But let's say I wanted to compare the results of this against something coming out of the Monarch trial. So I would go back here, and again, I should be selecting comparable things, but I'm just clicking around just to show you how the system works. So it can quickly compare and create a visual for somebody to see how those two trials compare to one another. And I think quite a lot of people gravitate to that because, again, even though they're not supposed to do it, most people do. And it's a very quick and easy tool to use. I think after that, on a similar passion, we can do the forest plots, but I'm going to keep a few steps. I'm going to come here over to landscapes. And I think I'll pass the baton over to you, Bruno, because I know that, oh, sorry, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, let me. You might have timed out, so
Okay,
here we are. So, in the pharma world, and many of people in the audience know that there's something called a landscape. In a landscape, you take a population, let's say first line EGFR mutated non-small cell lung. That's a population. And for that population, you are mapping out both the standard of care, the emerging standard of care, and maybe the regimen to watch. And what you're trying to do when you do that, and you can open one of these or any of them, it doesn't need to be non-small cell. And what we're trying to do when we do that in pharma is to support the definition of TPP, of a target product profile, right? So the target product profile needs to take into account the standard of care and also emerging standard of care, and because of course that target product profile is the kind of profile, efficacy, and maybe even safety that is needed to have a successful product. First, we have a product that is approved, and then a product that gains market access. So what a lot of our customers are interested in and are asking us to do, sometimes in a customized way, sometimes in a syndicated way, are these landscapes. And our goal in LARVOL CLIN has been to how do we productize and industrialize the generation of these landscapes. And our team has done a very nice job, I feel, doing this. And we would love, we had out of time in a minute or so, but we would love to demo that to you. We would love to uh, give you, do a pilot with you, audience. So please reach out to me, reach out to Kimon, and we'll organize a demo. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Kimon, for being our guest
Thank you.
today. LARVOL CLIN, Build in Public podcast. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Speak to you soon. Bye.
Au revoir.